Knowing what you don't want to do is the best possible place to be. Because knowing what you don't want to do leads you to figure out what is you really want to do. These are the words of wisdom by Oprah Winfrey. Oftentimes, everyone knows what they don't want to do, but somehow, if you don't want to figure out what you want to do, what you want to be, then as I say, there are two choices in life. If you are not happy with your current situations or state of affairs, then you can either complain about it or start asking yourself questions on how you can create solutions to those problems, those situations, and provide answers to those complaints. Choice is all yours, always. Now, do you know what is the difference between the stone and the diamond? Anybody? You do know they are both stones, but it is someone who noticed the potential in the stone and carved it and turned it into the diamond. And that is true for every successful entrepreneur who made it to the Forbes list, who made it to the Fortune list. You do realize there are budding entrepreneurs in every nook and corner, but few make it. Why? Why is it that way? I believe those who made it had someone who saw the potential in them, someone who tells you that you are different. Someday you will make big. Someday you will be famous. You are special. And that someone introduces you to your own true self. This someone could be anyone in your life. Your mom, your dad, your best friend, your teacher, your guru, your mentor, or someone you admire, someone who inspires you. And finally, you start thinking, yes, I can do that. This is the difference between those who make it and those who don't. It is not owning millions makes you a millionaire. It is not creating something that makes you an entrepreneur, but it is your mindset. It is how you think about yourself and you believe in yourself. It's your mindset always. Hello everyone, this is your host Jaya MK on the Invincible Passion Talk Show. And today I am going to share this story about this young boy who at an early age got this feeling from his mother that anything is possible. And he believed that. And as I was quoting Oprah, that knowing what you don't want to do leads you to figure out what is that you really want to do. And that is what guided this young boy's journey. He was born on July 19th, 1953. And he spent his childhood in a subsidized housing complex for the poor in Brooklyn, New York. His father, Fred, was a high school dropout Army veteran who earned a living from driving a truck. And his mother worked as a receptionist. And during 1953, in those times, sick pay or basic benefits were not paid or offered to those in low-paying jobs. When this boy was 7, his father lost his job as a delivery driver after breaking his ankle. And in the coming months, the family had hard time in putting food on the table. But it was this memory that this young boy would carry with him throughout his life. He remembered his roots. He knew where he came from and where he wanted to go. And that was when he started being exposed to other people and situations. And that's when he started asking himself questions. This habit of asking questions, why the situations are the way they are in your life, and how you can make it different. This is what guides an entrepreneur, the curiosity. And growing up, he always felt like he was living on the other side of the tracks. And for some reason, he didn't know why or how, he wanted to climb over that fence and achieve something beyond what people were saying was possible. This is the mindset of an entrepreneur, the risk taker, someone who believes in himself. And same thing was happening here. This was his driving force. And it is when situation in life gives you the feeling of insecurity, and that is when it's going to motivate you to go do something different, go find your path. And that is what happened here. He made up his mind. He wanted to build a better life for himself. So he started focusing his energies into high school sports. And that passion, that interest won him a sports scholarship to Northern Michigan University. And he graduated from that. And after graduating, he began working in the sales and marketing division of Xerox Corporation. Now, to see the difference of an entrepreneur, he remembered where he came from, and having a sports scholarship and working with Xerox, he knew this is not just a job. This is his opportunity to do something different. And this passion that he put into his work soon drew the attention of the Swedish housewares company, which recruited him at the age of 26 to be the vice president and general manager of their American subsidiary, Hammerplast USA. Now, it was during that time he noticed that a small Seattle-based company was ordering more of the espresso machines than any of their bigger clients. And curious to find the answers, he thought, I need to go visit the company. Now, if you connect the dots, the childhood habit of trying to figure out, trying to find the answers, that same curiosity took him to find out how is the Seattle-based company that sold freshly roasted gourmet coffee beans is ordering more espresso machines than any of the bigger clients. Sure enough, he met the owners. And the owners were impressed by his passion, his energy, knowledge, and marketing skills, and soon offered him to join them. And sure enough, he joined as head of its marketing and retail operations. Impressive, isn't it? If you see his early childhood days that forced him to focus his energies to sports and eventually getting scholarship and then the job, and that led to this visit. In life, often you do not know what you don't want to do, but you still do it because you just can't quit. You have many roles and responsibilities to share, and that kind of forces you to keep going. Same was happening here. He did go for the job. He was doing the job. But the biggest difference here was he was doing the job which anybody else would have done it too. He did it differently. He put his soul in that job. This is what sets apart an entrepreneur. And however, as I call game of chance, it was during a trip to Milan in 1981 where he noticed how espresso bars were not just coffee shops, but an important meeting place where community comes together. You could say a third place where, other than home or office, people from all walks of life come together and share their story. And I call this the light bulb moment of every entrepreneur, when the idea clicks. He thought, why not open a coffee bar in Seattle? He found his vision and blended it with his passion. And he figured how to brew success one coffee cup at a time. And realizing and believing that how big this could be, he left the coffee company. Now, you wonder, why would you leave a job that pays you well, provides you all the flexibility and comforts? But again, as I say, if you're an entrepreneur, you dream not just big, but bigger. And they are risk takers. So that's what was happening here. He left the coffee company to open his own espresso bar. And sure enough, it was a big hit. But, entrepreneur never settles. The more they achieve, the more they want to achieve. So he wanted to open more stores, but due to lack of funding, it didn't quite work as per his way. But as you know, an entrepreneur is always ready to seize the opportunity. A year later, he found that Seattle-based coffee company wanted to sell their outlets. And that was the time he brought few investors together, brought the original coffee chain, and merged the stores with his own. Now, I may ask you, what happens when you leave a kid in a candy store? I have to tell you, when I do leave my son in a candy store, I have to really think. So I tell him, this is all you can get. So when you leave a kid in a candy store, what happens is exactly what's happening here. When you leave an entrepreneur with the world of opportunities, something miracle is going to happen here. So once he was in charge, he revolutionized the coffee business. And how? He expanded its offerings to more exotic coffee drinks, to espresso, cappuccino, mocha and stuff. Second, remembering his visit to the Milan stores, he wanted to create something similar. So he created an atmosphere in the coffee stores that brought people together where they can hang out, relax and enjoy. But he realized you're not just serving the coffee no matter how great your product is. It is how you treat your customers and how you serve makes the world of the difference. He started a training program and helped groom his employees who would enjoy working behind a counter. It is how you serve. And lastly, remembering his childhood experience of seeing his dad not have basic medical benefits, he offered complete healthcare coverage to both full-time and part-time employees. And not just that, he would offer stock options, the practices that were virtually unheard of in the corporate America. He says, I tried to build a company my father would have been proud to work for, that he would have looked back and said, that is the company that honored me, even though I don't have an education. This man put his soul in his company, and this is the story of Howard Schultz, the soul of Starbucks and the man who brought Italy's coffee house culture to the United States and turned the 4-store chain to 1,300 stores and still growing. Now everyone, including him, went through struggle. What sets him apart? How was he able to turn that 4-store chain to a culture that everybody remembers and it becomes an indispensable part and parcel of the whole culture, the national culture? It was his passion, his invincible passion. As I say, everyone goes through struggle and hardships in life, but those who choose to use that experience and remember their roots, they are the ones who create something unique. As Howard Schultz says, in life you can blame a lot of people and you can wallow in self-pity, or you can pick yourself up and say, listen, I have to be responsible for myself. It is this habit. When you tell yourself you are responsible for your life, the situations in your life, and it is in your hand whether you want to complain or whether you want to create a solution. But in doing so, remember, always be authentic and genuine and be yourself. But remember, you can never be perfect. And it is those mistakes that help you get better every time. And Howard Schultz says, I may have a suit and tie on now, but I know where I am from and I know what it is like. People often say, how does it feel to be on the other side? And you may know how it feels because you have gone through. There is a big difference, knowing and going through that. But remembering the roots will always channelize your energies into the right direction. As Oprah says, knowing what you don't want to do is the best possible place to be. But that is what helps you figure out what is that you really want to do. And I'm sure running major companies is all-consuming business. And when you are an entrepreneur, you got to just roll your sleeves up and get to it. As I say, you got to dream big and not just say, yes, it is done. And then you got to dream bigger. Now, moving on to the numerology side, how does this success fits? As I say, he is born on July 19th with power number 8. Number 8 is all about business and money combined into one. Then you have a leader who's ambitious, who will not settle for less and is always ready to create and innovate. Number 1 is a lucky number. And as I have said many times in our previous episodes, Number 8 is hard work and struggles, but if backed by any lucky number, then it does something unique. In this story, Howard Schultz did go through his struggles and share of harsh life, but as number 8 is known for, it will give you the success that was almost impossible. And once number 8 achieves success, it stays there for a very long time. The other number 8 success story is of Facebook that also adds to 8. Now, as I promised, we're going to talk about the compatibility with your numbers. If you are listening to us and want to know who's your right partner, then there are few key rules. So if you are born on 8th, 17th and 26th, then you are number 8. You will have compatibility with those born on either 1st or 2nd. Now, why is it so? As I said, number 8 is struggle. If you have a life partner that also comes with the number 8, then how will it be if you put two strugglers together? Just struggle is not going to help you fulfill the responsibilities. That one number 8, if blended with number 1, creates the magical story just like Howard Schultz. Now, if you're born on 7th, 16th and 25th, you are number 7. Your compatibility is with those born on either 1st or 2nd. Now, if you're born on 9th, 18th and 27th, you are number 9 and you're most compatible with 1st, 4th and 5th. That is those who are born either with the number 1, 4 and 5. Now, if you are number 6, that is if you're born on 6th, 15th and 24th, then you're compatible with those born on either with the number 4 or 5 and sometimes number 9. Now, if you're born on 5th, 14th and 23rd, then you are number 5. You are most compatible with those with number 1, 4 and 6. Now, with number 5, a word of caveat here. Do not try to do important things in your personal life on the dates that either add to 4, 8 or 5. Because if you are 5 and you either marry on number 5 or you start a business venture, that will not work out. It will delay the family progress or your business progress, or might bring some problems. Now, why is it so? How can a number bring problems in life? If you have been following me, number is a planetary influence. What happens when you overeat? You feel uncomfortable. What happens if you have overdose of a certain number and the number that is not compatible with your numbers? It will produce some results, and that's what happens when I speak about which numbers are compatible with you. Then it is, if you are an innovator, then you need someone who can support you, and which are the numbers that bring that support. And that is what I say, compatibility, which numbers can bring it to you so it's a smooth sailing. Same thing for number 4. If you are born on 4th, 13th or 22nd or 31st, you are number 4. Now, number 4 thrives on rules and regulations but have strong willpower. These people are more compatible with either 5, 7 or 8 and should try to do important things affecting their personal or professional life on dates that add to 1 or 7. Now, you are number 3 if you're born on 3rd, 12th, 21st or 30th. You're most compatible with those who have the number backing of 1, 2 and 9. And try to do your important things on date that adds to 3 or 9. Now, you are number 2 if you're born on 2nd, 11th, 20th or 29th, and you're most compatible with numbers 1, 3 and 2. And try to do important things on 1 or 7. You are number 1 if you're born on 1, 10th, 19th or 28th, and you're most compatible with those with the backing of 2, 3 and 9. But try to do all your important works that affects your personal or professional life that adds to number 1. But best dates, if you want to have a big important event of your personal life, try to always keep it either on 1 or 9 and try not to do it on 4, 8 or 5th. Number 8 always sees delays. So if you have the backing of number 8 in your life, you would see delays in finding the right compatible partner. And same with number 4. Number 4 might find it harder because they are strong willed personalities. Someone who can match up with their own willpower is not easy to find. So, what I learned from Howard Schultz's story and my message would be for today is it is great knowing what your roots are, but what could be better and help you create your success is use those experiences to channelize your success. Creating your passion, putting it with your vision helps you serve better. No matter what your passion is, if you blend it with a vision that serves others, there is no stopping. Thanks for listening to this episode. Till then, have a blessed week.